Again, very good morning students. Let's see the 25th sum. The ratio of incidence angle to the reflected angle is. So what is asked? Ratio. Okay. So ratio of incidence angle. So first we have to write incidence angle. Then we have to write reflected angle. Suppose in the question, if they ask the ratio of reflected angle to the incident means, first you have to write reflected, then incidence. Have you all understood? Now, so the ratio of incidence angle to the reflected angle is. But we all know, according to the law of reflection, the angle of incidence, that is I, is always equal to the angle of reflection. Right? So what is the question? The ratio. So ratio means division. Angle of incidence to the angle of reflection. But we all know I is equal to R. So instead of this R, shall I write I? Yes. Then this I get cancelled. So what is the answer? 1 by 1. So this is equal to 1 is to 1. So what is the answer? Option 3. Then 26th sum. The angle between mirror and reflected ray is 60 degree. Then the angle between incident ray and reflected ray is. First let's draw the diagram. Mirror. So they said there is a mirror and the angle between mirror and reflected ray. If they mention about reflected ray means there must be an incident ray. So one ray falls on the polished surface, so it reflects. So here which is known as reflected ray? Let me label it. This one is A and this is B. So here which one represents reflected ray? A or B? B. What is given? The angle between mirror, that is this side, and the reflected ray is 60 degree. Okay. Then the angle between incident ray and reflected ray. So the angle between incident ray and reflected ray. So we have to calculate this. How can we calculate? We all know this center line, this is normal, and up to this we have 90 degree. Let me draw this diagram. Here I have drawn the diagram very neatly. So the angle between mirror and the reflected ray is 60 degree. And here I have drawn the normal. But we all know what is this angle? Very good. Right angle. What is the value of this angle? 90 degree. So the whole is 90 degree. From here to here this is 60. Then what is this angle? Very good. 30 degree. So here 30 degree is the angle between normal ray and reflected ray. What is that? The angle between normal and reflected ray is angle of reflection. So angle of reflection is equal to 30 degree. But we all know angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. So I is also equal to 30 degree. Okay, have you all understood? So in the question, we have to calculate the angle between incident ray and reflected ray. This is 30 degree and this is also 30 degree, means the whole angle is 60 degree. So what is the correct answer? 60 degree. Is there any option 60 degree? Option 1. 27th sum. If the angle of incidence is 80 degree, then glancing angle of incidence is. Before that, what do you mean by angle of incidence? The angle between incident ray and the normal ray. So let me draw the diagram. So this is a mirror and incident ray and this is reflected ray. In the sum what they have given? Angle of incidence. So the angle between incident ray and normal ray, that is 80 degree. And the glancing angle of incidence. What do you mean by glancing angle? The angle between mirror and incident ray.